Hi, we're going to start off making a textured background page, and I'm going to be using Claudine Helmuth matte medium and some old book pages that Martina Huppertova sent me, which are written in Czech, and they're quite thin and have a nice sort of silky texture to them. I didn't want to use the plain border around the outside, so I just ripped that off randomly, not very straight, and now I'm gluing it onto the pages using the matte medium underneath and then again on the top. Once the glue was totally dry, you took the archival ink pad in black. This is a Tim Holtz stamp set, and I'm going to be using this grid design. I'm also going to be using this stamp set from Inkadinkadoo and using several different stamps from the set to stamp randomly across the page. I really love both these stamp sets, and they fit in so well with mixed media projects. Now I'm going to add some texture paste with this stencil from the Crafters Workshop called Mini Cell Theory, and the texture paste I'm using is Crackle paste by Dreamweaver. I'm going to be adding a thin layer of this over most of the page. Decided to leave the rest of the page to dry before I came back and finished the last piece off, because I didn't want to smudge it with the stencil, and it was difficult to get it back in place without it touching any of the other pieces. The next step is to take some blue Liquitex ink and water and just let the ink run around the cells and find their own direction. It's quite organic and relaxing thing to do. It's fun to play with. and it really makes those cells stand out. Once I had the background how I wanted it, I started to dry it with the heat gun, and I was amazed really that as it started to dry out, all the texture Crackle paint really started to bubble a bit, and as it heated up, all the cracks really started to stand out in white. It was really amazing to watch and such fun to do. When I was making the piece, I didn't really have any idea where I was going with it, but once it was finished, it reminded me of an undersea world with coral and the bubbles from the water, so I decided to stick with that theme. I stamped out, then coloured with alcohol inks and fussy cut these images from stamp sets by Chocolate Baroque. The Mermaid was sent to me by my lovely friend Serena Bee. Hi Serena. And is from a stamp by Stampotik. I added glass bead gel to her tail to give it some texture, and then I used some cheesecloth strands for her hair and coloured them with alcohol ink. Now I'm ready to start putting the composition together. The first thing I want to do is add a piece of this netting to the top of the page to look like it's coming down from above, where there would be sailors trying to catch a mermaid. I'm going to use the Claudine Helmuth matte medium again to do this. Put on quite a heavy coat underneath, and then once the netting is embedded into it and it's dried, then I will put another coat over the top just to make sure that it's properly secured. The mermaid to stand out a bit, so I've stuck black foam tape on the back. Now I've added most of the elements, so I am going to add the sentiment. It's a verse that I found online, the actual page is about the mermaids that used to sing and drive the sailors crazy. They had to come and find them, and then once the mermaids had them, they pulled them under the water and drowned them. So this verse is about that, and it says, "I am a creature of the Fae, prepared to give your soul away. My spell is passion, and it is art, my song combined, a human heart. And if you chance to know my face, my hold shall be your last embrace." I'm now going to use the Faber-Castell Pip Pen in white to add some highlights and bubbles coming from the fish's mouths and from the mermaid. I'm going to use a graphite pencil now to put some shading around the sentiment. And that's the piece finished. I added a couple of bits off camera, some glossy accents to the shells to make them shiny. I added some seed beads into the mermaid's hair and a piece of pleated tissue paper with music notes on it to signify the mermaid's song trying to attract the sailors. I added a couple of extra little tiny pieces of netting as well, and yeah, I think that's about it. Well, I hope you like my page, and if so, that you'll give me a thumbs up, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye.